Hi, yogi friends. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to do a nice, gentle, slow flow practice. So let us go ahead, jump in, get started. Let's start down on our backs. I'll meet you there. Come on down to your back. Take a full body stretch when you get there. Just to kind of open up the lungs and the rib cage and the diaphragm. Keep stretching, keep breathing. And then begin to gather your knees up into your chest and take a little squeeze here, a little rock side to side. Let your shoulders and your jaw stay relaxed. And then let the feet come down to the floor. Excuse me. Arms to the side. And let the feet come to the outer edges of the mat. Let the knees come in towards one another so your legs are just resting there. They're holding each other up. And you're just able to relax here on your mat. Little internal rotation of the hip joints. And we breathe. And really start to follow the flow and rhythm of your breath. Letting that rhythm sink you down into your body. Away from the mind chatter. Let's now start to get a little external rotation. So we're going to walk our feet in. So now our feet are touching and we're going to drop our knees apart. So the soles of the feet come together. Arms can be wherever it is comfortable for you to rest them. Still watching and feeling our breath. And letting the knees and the thigh bones feel heavy. Letting their weight just ever so gently stretch into the hips. And let the feet come back to the floor. And we're going to bring our arms right down to the sides and check that your feet are about hip width apart. For bridge pose, we're going to flow with our breath. We're going to use the arms as well. So on an inhale, lift the hips, lift the arms, reach the arms long, and then exhale, lower everything back down to the mat. So you're going to just sink into your own breath pace here and start your own flow, inhaling to lift and lengthen, and exhaling to come back down to the mat. You're welcome to leave the arms down and simply move the hips up and down if this is bothersome for your shoulders to be moving the arms. So take care of your body. Remember, it is always, always, always your practice, not my practice. It's your practice. So do what feels good for you. You are the expert of your body. And the next time you find that your arms are down by your sides, let them stay there and lift just the hips. So just the hips come up into one final bridge pose, and we're going to hold this one right here. Find your breath. And with an exhale, lower the hips back down and hug those knees into the chest one more time. Let yourself take a little rock side to side, just releasing our lower back after that back bending. Lengthening through the sacrum here as we tuck our knees in. Then go ahead and bring yourself over to one side or the other just so that you can start to press yourself up. And we're going to come into a seated position. And so let's find our seat first. Find a comfortable position for your legs. Let the shoulders be relaxed and heavy, and let the jaw be relaxed. We have a tendency to clench our jaw without realizing it, so just checking in that you can move your jaw to slack. And then inhale, bring those arms up into the sky. Let the palms touch, and then exhale, pull the hands down into the heart. So we're going to do it 2 more times just to warm up our shoulder joints and to stretch through the ribs. You're pulling down with your exhale and circling up with your inhale. And on this last time, we're going to land with our hands at the heart center. And we'll interlace our fingers, press our palms forward, round the back, chin to chest. And then inhale, lengthen the spine, palms reach up into the sky. Take a little tilt to that right side. And over to the left side. We don't have any cats with us today. That's unusual. They must be napping. And back to center. Roll the wrist out as you float the hands down. So we're going to get a little bit deeper now into our side stretches. Inhale, arms up one more time. Big stretch here. And then exhale, right hand to the floor. Big lean into that right side. Here comes Rosie. Rosie's ready for yoga. Hi. Hi. 2 more breaths. And then inhale, big reach up to the sky. Exhale, over to that left side. Ground down the left hand. Reach that right arm over. Really deep side stretch for the rib cage. Two breaths more. And then inhale up to center, palms touch, exhale down into the heart. And let's take those legs out in front of us. We're gonna hug the right knee in and keep the left leg long, sitting nice and tall in the spine. Start to twist around to your right side. So you're gonna keep a hold of that right leg with your left hand because we don't want it to really flop open. We're gonna keep it hugged into midline. We're gonna use it to twist. And we're gonna keep our spine and back really long and straight while we breathe here in our twist. And then unwind to center, switch your legs. Right leg is long. We're gonna hug the left knee in, nice and tall in the spine, twisting to the left. Your right hand's gonna keep that left knee squeezed in towards the midline. And then unwind back to center. Let your left leg go long. So we have both legs long in front of us. We're gonna forward fold over those legs. We're just gonna ragdoll. It doesn't have to be a deep fold because we haven't warmed up our hamstrings yet. So we just want a nice gentle stretch here. Those of you who are really, really flexible might have your nose down by your knees, but that's certainly not the requirement. Those of us who are less flexible and don't have as much length in our hamstring muscles, we're gonna have a very shallow fold here, and it's perfect. You know what? One is not better than the other. We're just looking for some gentle stretching sensation in the hamstrings, wherever that is for you, however deep the fold needs to be. Breathe there. And then use your next inhale to round yourself back up to your tall spine. Let's switch around to our hands and our knees. I will meet you in tabletop position. You can always place a blanket or a towel under your knees if you want a little extra support and cushion there. Let's do some cat and cow. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, round the back, chin to chest, drop the head. You've got the idea, so just tuning into your own breath pace here, flowing up and down, in and out of this nice deep spinal stretch. And taking one more round through your cat and your cow. When you finish it out, shift your hips back to your child's pose. The knees can either be together or wide apart. It just depends what feels good in your body and your hips. Find the one that works. Settle down into it. Find your breath. And then begin, inhale yourself back up. Let's come into downward facing dog. Lift the seat. press those heels down to the ground. They don't have to touch, just push them downward so you get a nice stretch through the calves. And then begin to walk yourself forward between your hands, coming into a forward bend. Let the head and neck release here. That is what we're looking for in our forward bend. And then inhale, come up to stand, reach those arms into the sky. Let the palms come right down into your heart. This is a nice place just to pause and breathe and remember that the stillness is as much a part of our practice as the movement. And then inhale, bring the arms up. And exhale, forward fold, back down. Inhale, halfway up with a flat back, hands slide up the shins, shoulders pull away from the ears. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to take that right foot back into a low lunge pose. Right knee to the floor, arms in the sky. Arms do not have to stay here though. If you want a different arm position, feel free to try on some different movements here for your arms. Whatever feels good in your shoulders. Take care of your shoulders. Wherever you decide to be, whatever shape you've taken, breathe now into that. And then release the hands down to the ground. We're coming back to downward facing dog, pressing those heels down. One more time, walk it up into forward fold. Get into that forward bend. Let the knees be soft. Let the head and neck hang. Inhale your way up to stand. Big, tall reach into the sky. Open those arms, open those ribs. Pull it down into the heart center. Breathe here. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Soft knees. We never want to lock our knees as we're coming down. We're just going to hang out here. We're going to let go of that cervical spine. And then we're going to step the left foot back. Low lunge, knee to the floor. Find your arms, whether they're overhead or somewhere else entirely. Figure out what lunge shape you are taking. And then send your breath and your attention fully into that shape. And release the hands to the floor. We're coming back to down dog. Full breaths. Take an inhale. Come forward to plank pose. You can leave the knees up or you can always drop the knees down. That's a modified plank. It's very helpful if you're taking care of your wrist. If you need your practice to be a little more gentle, that's a great modification. So wherever you are, knees up or down, wherever it is, take one more breath. And then start to lower down to the tummy. Drop the tops of the feet, come into a cobra pose. Really using our back muscles here. We're not relying on the arms. And back to your child's pose. Inhale yourself back up into tabletop. Take a cat-cow stretch. Drop the tummy with the inhale. Raise the back with the exhale. Come back to neutral. Move it side to side. Look over one shoulder and then the other. So just getting a nice movement through the spine. Getting all of the synovial fluids in the joints moving to lubricate those joints and our spine. The discs. Okay, downward dog. Let's go. Press those heels down. Find your breath. And walk it up. Forward fold. Next inhale, roll it up to stand, palms meet overhead. Exhale to pull the palms into the heart. Have a breath here at heart center. All right, let's get into some warrior one poses. We're gonna step our right foot back. Those right toes will point out just about 45 degrees, and the left knee is gonna bend. We're gonna make cactus arms here. So arms up, but then pull the shoulders and the elbows down. So you have these cactus arms, these goalpost arms. So we're working here in the back of the shoulder blades, and we're also stretching across the front of the chest. One more breath here. And we're gonna start a little flow. With your next inhale, bring the arms up and straighten that front leg. And then exhale, cactus arms, bend into that knee, bring it down. Inhale, lift and straighten. Exhale, bring it down. Good, follow your own breath pace. You've got the idea. One more time. Find that original pose we started right here. Goalpost arms, knee is bent, hang out, one breath more. And step that back foot forward, shake out your legs a little bit for a reset, and we'll take the left foot back. Same thing, warrior one, right knee is bending, arms come up, goalpost arms, pull those elbows down with intention. Fingers are spread wide, our hands are stretching, our arms, our shoulders, our back, they feel active here. Here's our flow. Let's do it. Inhale, arms come up as we straighten that front leg. Exhale, bend the knee, pull the arms down. Inhale, up and straighten. Exhale, bring it in. You've got it. Keep going. Last one, and we'll settle back down into the pose right here and breathe. And then step that back foot forward, shake it out a little bit, and start to roll your shoulders just a few times back and a few times forward. So let's work on our balance here. Let's do a little tree pose. You can be on your mat or off your mat. Some people feel a little bit better when they stand off their mat, a little more balance, so it just depends what feels best for you. You want to bring your feet under your hips. And then we're going to shift our weight to that right side, let the left foot kickstand, and you can leave those toes down if you need to, no problem. If you want to pull them up, start to pull that foot, press it against the leg, or rest it against the leg, I should say. And then let your arms just drift into any position. Those are your tree branches, and they can go wherever you want them to go. So just find a position. They don't even have to be stationary. If you want a little bit of a breeze to be moving through your tree, you can move those arms all around, find some fluid movement. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. However you want to do it. Just keep breathing. And then let that go. Shake it out a little bit. Let's take it over to that left side. Start to build up your trunk and your base. Find your balance. Toes can stay down or move away from the floor. Arms, again, can go wherever you want them to go for your tree pose. And let that go. Shake it out. Inhale, bring those arms up into the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Remember not to lock the knees. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. And exhale, forward fold. Let the head and neck release. And step it back, downward facing dog. Inhale forward to your plank or half plank. You can decide whether the knees stay up or down. And use your next exhale, lower down to the ground. Inhale into your cobra pose. The cobra pose can be really small, or you can start to straighten your arms and get a deeper back bend. So you can decide where you need to be with that, okay? Take care of your low back. That's the part where we're taking care of here in cobra. We don't want it pinchy or painful. So if you're up too high and it hurts that low back, come down a little bit closer to the ground. And then press it on back into your child's pose. Inhale yourself up through your tabletop. Lift it back up into your downward facing dog. We're going to take that right leg up into the sky behind us, nice and long. And then pull it forward for a warrior two pose. We're going to bend that right knee and the left toes will turn out and we're going to open those arms nice and wide. Looking out over the right fingertips. So some options here. You can stay here. If you want to go a little deeper, you can drop the right forearm to the right thigh, bringing the left arm up into the room. If you want to go even deeper still, you can drop the right hand down to the inside of the foot, touching the floor, holding the floor. Okay, so you can just decide, I'm going to stay up in warrior two today. And then begin to straighten that right leg. If you're lowered yourself down, come on up now so your arms are straight. Straighten that right leg, triangle pose. Drop that right hand down. Lift that left arm up. And then take that left arm, drop it down, bring both hands to frame that foot, turn your left toes forward, step it back to downward facing dog. Breathe here. And then lift the left leg high up into the sky, find that split, and step the foot forward. Warrior two, we turn the right toes out, we bend that left knee as we come up into our warrior pose. Again, take any one of those variations that work for you, whether you want to drop the forearm down or drop the hand down, or if you just want to stay right here. That's where I'm going to stay today. Totally up to you and what suits your practice. Begin to straighten that knee for your triangle pose, and then drop the hand down to the shin or the ankle or the floor, whatever you find most naturally. Drop that hand down, frame that front foot, turn your back toes forward, step it back, downward facing dog. Inhale forward into your plank pose. Exhale, lower down to the tummy. Inhale, cobra pose. This time we're going to work the back a little more. Start to reach your hands back towards the feet. It's a half locust pose. Now, full locust pose, lift the feet and the shins away from the floor, really working into those back muscles. This is such a good pose to make a nice strong back. All right, child's pose. Come on back, settle down, find the breath. And begin to make your way back up to your tabletop. We're gonna just shift right around onto our backs. So come on down, take a full body stretch when you get there, just like we did at the beginning. And let the arms rest down, bring the feet to the floor, bring that right ankle to the left knee and draw the left thigh into the body. We're gonna grab either behind the thigh or the front of the shin, whichever feels most comfortable for you. Softening the muscles of the face and the jaw. Let that go. Let's switch sides. Right foot comes down, left ankle to right knee, and then we draw that right thigh into the body, interlacing the hands either behind the thigh or front of the shin, whatever feels good for you. Sink back into your breathing. And then let the feet come down to the floor. We're going to drop the arms wide in a T, hug the knees in, and then let the knees go in to drop to the right side for a spinal twist. You can keep your head gazing up at the ceiling or turn to look over your left shoulder. It's just whatever feels better in your neck. If you have the head turn, go ahead and center the head now. Drift the knees up through center over to the other side. Let them settle down here. You can choose to turn the head over that right shoulder if that feels good. Your head is turned, let it come to center. Float the knees up, let them come down. If you would like to take a Shavasana, here it is. You can straighten the legs. You can come into a position of comfort. Let the body relax. I am going to bid you adieu here to allow you the time that you want in Shavasana. Take as long as you want. You're at home. It's your practice. You could be there for 5 minutes or an hour, so enjoy. I thank you for tuning in. Until next time, namaste.